Hello, welcome to this Dota 2 video where I'm going to be ranking all the support items, making a tier list for them. This is primarily for position 4 and 5 players. Some of these items might be a bit more for one hero or like one role or the other, but it's mostly going to be for these two roles. Some items might be like, hey, isn't this item more bought on cores? Yes, but they're still going to be on the list because they fall under the support category, or there's something that you can buy as support and it will still be useful. So I did arrange them from S to D tier. I don't think anything is going to be D tier, but whatever. So S is stuff you almost always want to buy. A tier is really good stuff that you can usually buy and be like, this is just really good. B tier stuff that's kind of core on some heroes, mostly skippable. C is kind of like, you're not really going to feel this impact in most games. And D tier is just stuff that you don't really want. And before we start, if you're wondering, well, who are you? Why should I care? I am 8.2. I'm rank 1.7 in 1.6 actually in Southeast Asia, and I've been casting a lot of Dota as well here and there, so I'm kind of familiar with the game, but everything is subjective in Dota. So what I think might be S tier, some people might be like, well, I don't really use it, I've tried a few times, hasn't worked out for me. So it is a subjective list, but I don't think I'll be too far off with the items. I think I'll be relatively close to what items value is going to be for pretty much every player. I arranged the items in the beginning in terms of ascending order for price. So let's start off with Urn of Shadows as the first item. Now, Urn of Shadows, before we go into how we're going to categorize, we're going to categorize items by how much they cost, obviously, their impact in the game, how easy they are to use, and the buildup of the item as well. So let's begin with Urn of Shadows. Firstly, at 25 gold, it's pretty damn cheap. It's the cheapest support items. I don't consider, Buckler and Headdress to be actual support items. Urn is the cheapest real support item. It gives pretty solid stats and the buildup is good. You can start with Ring of Protection, 2 armor is good in the lane. Circlet, stats are always good. And Sage Mask also gives you decent mana. It doubles actually when you make Urn from 0.7 to 1.4. And the recipe cost, 300 is not, it's a little bit of a sting early, I'll admit. But it's still fairly useful. Like, it's not too expensive to get this recipe in the first, 10 minutes. I bought Urn sub 5 minutes. It's a very cheap item. Now, Soul Release is also really good because it's a 240 nuke, 200 damage. Sorry, no. It's a 200 damage nuke and it's a 240 health heal, and you can use it on yourself or on allies, which is really good. Like, it really keeps you going the early game. It's synergized really well with some heroes like Witch Doctor's Maledict, Venomancer with a poison carrier facet also benefits from it because it's another debuff. Like, it's a very nice spell to throw. It's not a big spell, but it's a bit of a heal, it's a bit of a damage. It's just really solid. You can use it later on to cancel like Blink, which is also good. I like Urn. I think it's fantastic. I think every game you can get Urn and be happy with it. It's so damn cheap. So Urn goes into A tier. Really, really good item. Let's go to the next one. It's going to be Arcane Boots. Now, Arcane Boots, again, very cheap. It's 1400 gold, but it's still like an item you're going to get because you buy boots. So you're not really expending that much more gold to upgrade. It's like 900 gold. Ring of Battle is also a fantastic item. It's 1.25 mana regen, and it's for you and for your ally. So you can buy this in the laning stage and also be like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. We're all getting more mana. So you can buy these items as just the recipe. 475, a little costly. I know. It's like, I don't like it. I feel like it's a bit too much. I'd wish that there was another component and the recipe was cheaper or something. But either way, fine, the recipe cost is there, but you do get nice benefits out of it. You do get, which is that you can give mana to yourself and allies. 150 mana regen is fantastic. Everyone wants mana early. So, like, I can't list the heroes with benefits. It's like Medusa, every offlaner with low mana, yourself. It's so good, and it builds into a decent item in the Guardian Greaves as well. Like, Arcane Boots is an S tier because you want it every game as a support. Some heroes like Spirit Breaker may not want it because you want to get like phase boots and for the movement speed, but almost every hero who's a support wants Arcane Boots. Let's go to Pavis next, or Pavice. Now, Pavis has an okay build-up. I like the Ring of Protection and I like the fluffy hat. You get a bit extra health when you make it. The recipe cost is very cheap, but Energy Booster is an iffy support item. Raw mana in general is not too useful. Raw mana is okay, but you want mana regen. You want to be able to throw more spells. Energy Booster means I can throw maybe 1 or 2 more spells, but then I'm back to the same thing. I want mana regen, I don't want mana. So Energy Booster is kind of like a dump stat in this one. Feels kind of meh. The barrier itself is also 250 physical damage. Now, this is good and bad. It's not much, but it's good. It takes off a bit of the edge early game. The problem is, Pavis is so cheap, so you want to buy early. But early game, you're taking mostly magic damage. So there's this weird feeling of like, well, I'm buying Pavis for a point in the game where it doesn't do much. And by the point in the game when I need it, when against physical damage, 30 plus minutes, Pavis doesn't block enough, which means it's very weird to buy. Pavis in general is kind of a shit item. I feel like I want to put a D tier just because but it does build into Solar Crest, which is much better. So we're going to put Pavis in C tier. If you're just going for Pavis, it's really not worth buying it. All right, next one, drums. Again, I love the build-up. It's the cheat recipe again, 500. It's not so bad, but you can buy Windlace early for the movement speed if you want. You can get Robe Magi or Belt of Giant Strength. Just Strength now? It used to be Belt of Giant Strength. It's just Belt of Strength now. You can be like, oh, I'm tanking. I need some strength. Or, oh, I'm using a lot of spells. I could use some. I like it. You can buy whichever order of these items you want, and you can never have enough too much movement speed. So I like all the items that builds from. The active is very nice, 35 attack speed, 50 movement speed to yourself and allies, and it no longer has charges, which is the best thing about this. It used to be that I want to buy it, but I think to myself, do I really? It's got these charges, it runs out, and I can have this item that is okay stats, but useless otherwise. But now it doesn't have any charges, it's so much better. My only problem with Drums of Endurance is its active ability of attack speed and movement speed is good, but when do I really want it? Early game, I'd rather have stuff that I honestly would rather have like a Pavis or an Urn or some sort of stat item. Movement attack speed is good, but it doesn't change fights too often the way a heal from a mech would, for example, or a Force Staff or a Glimmer. And later on, again, it's not enough. So while I like drums, I often feel like if you can get it on like Chen and Visage and push fast, or Spirit Breaker to charge faster, but most heroes, it feels like it's kind of meh. So while I like drums, I love drums. I feel like it's nothing more than a B tier item. Let's go to mech. Mech is, as a build-up, it's not great. It's pretty cheap overall. It's 1.8 gold only, so it's cheap. But as a build-up, you can buy a headdress early, I suppose. But chainmail is kind of like, again, we talked about physical damage. It's kind of decent in the laning phase, but it's too expensive to buy for 4 armor. And there's an expensive recipe cost of 800 gold. So, apart from the headdress, I'm not too fond of the item, how I build up the item. But mech, the heal is incredible. Your mech is cheap. Cheap means I buy it early. Early, 250 health for your whole team is a lot. Like these early skirmishes where it's 3-on-3, 4-on-4, you pop a mech and your whole team gets 750 or 1,000 health. And it's like, it's not so much that I have to wait for someone to take damage. It's like, oh, fight begins, a Crystal Nova followed by like a Zeus Arc Lightning. I mech, we're all back to full health as if these spells weren't used, which is nice. So I don't have to time it too carefully. And it's got very big AoE, 1200, mana cost is pretty low. You can use it almost every team fight. Like mech is super good, it's super cheap, it's well worth buying. I put it very much in the A tier. I'd say mech is maybe slightly worse than Urn. I feel like Urn is a little bit better. Mech, it's good, but Urn is a little bit better. All right, let's go to the next item, Glimmer Cape. Now, Glimmer Cape, I just realized this today. The Shadow Amulet, I used to think it was the old one where you use on yourself and you stand still. I just realized today that's a vis for you or an ally. I did not know this before. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, you can invis, put yourself or your allies invisible for 3.5 seconds, which is nice. But generally, I like it because in terms of build-up, I love Cloak, and the Glimmer Cape recipe is cheap. And the Shadow Element itself has value. It used to be kind of really bad for sports, but now it's like, okay, Shadow Element is good, but Cloak itself is amazing. Magic resistance is fantastic to have, and magic damage is relevant the entire game. It does become slightly less important as the game goes on, but you're always taking magic damage. Reducing it's always good. So, and Glimmer Cape, what does it give you? It gives you invisibility. It gives movement speed, which is something I don't see highlighted enough, and it gives you a big barrier. This barrier was improved from 300 to 375. It's low cooldown. You can get 2-3 off in a fight. Glimmer Cape is fantastic as an item and well worth buying almost in every game. My only reason for putting Glimmer Cape in A is that Glimmer Cape is often compared to Force Staff. And I feel like of the two, I like Force Staff more. I'm really struggling not to put Glimmer Cape in S. I feel like it's an A tier item, but it's got all these S tier good stuff. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's really good. You have to force people to buy detection, the extra magic damage they take. Just the little movement speed is also good. But somehow I feel like Force Staff is a little bit better, and I always compare these two. I feel like you take one or the other. So we're gonna go to Force Staff. Force Staff build up is good. Again, although the recipe is expensive, but you can be like, oh, a Fluffy Hat's cheap, it's a nice health. Or you can get a Staff Wizardry. Mana is always good. It's raw mana and mana regeneration. So it's like nice. That's nice. The Force ability is what you really want this for. Being able to push a person 600 units is fantastic in the direction they're facing. You can save allies or you can push enemies in the bad spot. I love the offensive aspect of this. When people are pushing high ground, you ever have those supports go to the side, they plant a ward, and you just push them up and you kill them? It's really fun to do that. And that's my main reason for why I prefer Force Staff over Glimmer Cape, because I feel Force Staff gives you a little bit more utility and a little bit more offensive options. I know you can use Glimmer Cape to like sneak up on people, but it's much harder. Whereas Force Staff in fights, yes, they have to face the right direction, but you can use it on an ally to save or an enemy to kill. So Force Staff is S tier. It's really good. If you can get your hands on it, get your hands on it. It's well worth buying. All right, next up is Vlad's. Vlad's, we're starting the mid tier of like an expensive. This is 2.2, so it's not cheap. It does build from Buckler, which we talked about being a good item to get early, but you're going to build an Arcane Boot, so you still have to buy another Ring of Basilisk most of the time. Buckler is good, Ring of Basilisk is good, but Morbid Mask and Blades of Attack are where this item feels like the build-up is meh. How many supports right-click? None, I think. Like, very few right click. It's just not something the supports do. We use spells, we don't right click a lot. Maybe if I'm Spirit Breaker, I'm hitting, or I'm Silencer, or like Abaddon Omni are sort of in the middle of the fight, they can throw a right click or two, but most supports don't right click. So the Morbid Mask is useless in build up and in value of the item. Same thing with the Blades of Attack, although slightly better. You know, it's like at least if I'm hitting, I'm doing more damage, whereas Lifestealing is just completely worthless. So build up is meh. These two are good, these two are meh. Now about the items itself, the aura. We buy Vlad's because we want the aura, right? We want to be able to push faster and teamfight better, but it doesn't give a whole lot. The best thing is the lifesteal and the bonus damage, which is ironic because as the person buying it, you don't want it, but for the team, they love it. Like your right clickers are going to benefit, but most of the time, who's going to benefit? It's going to be one guy, which is going to be your carry. Your mid Queen of Pain doesn't care. Your offlane Tidehunter, I mean, he'll buy it, I guess, most of them. But like offlane Timbersaw and Centaur, they don't care most of the time. So the lifesteal and the bonus damage is kind of meh. Only one guy really benefits from it. And for that, it feels like there's just so much better things to get for its price. I feel like the D tier was only designed to put Vlad's in. I want to say something. I did buy this item recently. I was playing a game as Abaddon 4, and I bought it in a 60-minute game. I was like, we need some little bit more oomph. I bought it, and I really felt bad. So because of that game, because I'm being very objective, Vlad's is shit and not worth getting. Let's go to Holy Locket. Holy Locket was recently nerfed. It went from a 25% bonus to your healing to 15. That's almost half value. So we got to open up with that, but because that's a big nerf to the item, losing half of the reason you buy it. Well, at least half of the passive benefit. Build up is alright. You always buy a magic wand. I always advise people to buy it slightly later, not very early in the laning phase, but later. But you always get magic wand. It's just such a good, cheap item. It's fantastic, well worth getting. Diadem is nice stats, although again, just stats for 1,000. I'm like, okay. I can get 2 crowns for cheaper, but whatever. We want stats. My issue is that you don't get bonus stats when you upgrade it. Like you get 9, which is 3 plus 6, which is what you get from the items. If it was like 12, I'd be like, oh yeah, that feels good. But it's only 9. Ugh. The recipe is also kind of expensive at 800 gold. But what you get is that you can heal allies for, 340? Yeah, 340 health. Cool. And you buff up your healing. If you are buying mech and you have natural heals like Oracle, Omni, Abaddon, Chen, Holy Locket feels good, feels pretty good. Like the extra healing is nice. Most other heroes don't really want it though. It's just doesn't do anything, and the heal itself is just not that much. Oh, actually, by the way, remember it also amplifies 15% of the 340, which is not much, by the way. So overall, I think it's better than Pavis, but I don't buy it. But most of the time, it's like it's very niche, very few heroes can build. They do get decent benefit, but 15% just doesn't feel like enough. If it was 25, it would be kind of A tier, but it feels very B, almost C tier to me. But I don't think it's Pavis level bad. Now, we talked about Pavis being bad. What about Solar Crest? Whoa, Solar Crest. I love Solar Crest. Solar Crest is much better. Firstly, it does take Pavis, which we talked about the raw mana being whatever, but it adds two good items. Firstly, the crown is nice stats. It's much better than Diadem because it's half the price, but 66% of the value. So it's very nice. And Windlace is good. You get 15, 25 movement speed. Movement speed is a amazing stat in Dota. So more movement speed is always good. And the recipe cost is not too much. You know, we're at like 2.6, so it's not too much to spend 500. And so yeah, I want to go back into Solar Crest. Firstly, 5 armor is amazing. You can give to allies. 60 attack speed and 15% movement speed. These are all great scaling abilities. And you can put on the carry. We talked about Vlad's not being good because only one guy benefits. Here, Solar Crest, the stats are designed for a frontline melee kind of guy. Fantastic. And the physical damage barrier. 350 is not a whole lot, but remember, you're giving them extra armor. It's amplified by their armor. It's going to block something like 600-700 actual physical damage, by the way. So it's really good. And when the barrier disappears, you still get the benefits of the armor, attack speed, and movement speed. It's just fantastic. I love Solar Crest. I think it's really, really good. I guess my only issue is that usually only one guy can benefit from it. So I don't know if I would... I can't put it at the same level as like Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape is better, is as good, but it's cheaper. So I feel like Solar Crest is kind of B tier, almost A tier. I don't like disagree with anyone who says it's an A tier item. I think that's fine. For me, it's B tier though, but it's a very, very high B tier. We should have had a B plus tier. Next item, Spirit Vessel. Oh, Spirit Vessel. Firstly, I do like that you get 2 extra stats. Remember we talked about stats. You get 2 extra from the combination of the diadem and the urn. The armor, actually the same armor, mana regen is the same. You get 2 extra stats, but you have to buy this expensive Spirit Vessel and diadem. It's like 1.9 to go from urn to Spirit Vessel. The better thing is that you do more damage, which is good. You know, the 4% plus damage, which is good, but the main point you buy this is that against Necrophos, against Huskar, against these Timbersaw, Bristleback, you reduce healing. Grant and Morphling, of course. This is where I feel mixed about Spirit Vessel, is that a lot of these heroes will tend to buy Dispels, and as a support you can rush Spirit Vessel and get it before they have their defensive items, but they're often going to get these items anyway. Like every time I play against Morphling and I'm playing a hero that's, you know, I say Spirit Breaker a lot because he's my most... Let's say Bounty Hunter or Venno. I want Spirit Vessel because they're good, and they're good against Morphling, but I might get 1, maybe 2 uses of Spirit Vessel before he has a Manta. And at that point, I feel like, eh. And some will say, well, use it after, but I want to kind of use it to force him. It's just awkward to use Spirit Vessel as the game goes on. And that's kind of the biggest issue, is that you don't want to use it as a heal, even though it's better than Urn. You want to use it offensively because it's an offensive support item, but it becomes very hard to use. So I like Spirit Vessel. I buy it on like Weaver, Venno every time because I buy Urn and I want the extra stats. Most other heroes, I just keep the Urn as it is. It's good, but it's a bit difficult to use Soul Release, and that's why it goes into the D tier. I honestly think it's... There you go. I feel like it's maybe better than Drums, not as good as Solar Crest. I think that it's interchangeable with Drums. All right, now let's go to Pipe. Oh, I love Pipe. Oh, Pipe is so good. Pipe is so good. You guys already know where it's going to go, right? All right, firstly, Cloak we mentioned, always a good item. So Pipe builds from Cloak, which is naturally a great item. Headdress, you can get early if you want. It's a nice bit of health regen. I wouldn't say get in the laning phase, but if you really feel like it's going to help, sure, there's nothing wrong. My issue is these 2 items. Oh, the recipe is okay, fine. But Ring of Tarask is very expensive and gives you like this abundant heal that you don't really need most of the time. It's too expensive. I wish it was 2 rings of health, because the price of saving for 1800 gold is difficult. But that's fine. You get a massive barrier, 425. Remember when we were talking about, what was it called? Solar Crest giving 350? This one gives 425 magic barrier to everyone. That's amplified by magic resistance. So you're blocking 600, 650 magic damage with this for everyone. It lasts 8 seconds, so you can use it as you're pushing. The cooldown and the mana cost are a lot, to be fair, but you also get passive mana regen from this 8% aura. Oh, so good. So good. I think this passive also affects you, but I'm not quite sure. Either way, you get massive amounts of mana of magic resistance for you, a little bit for your allies, and this barrier that's fantastic. Almost every pro game, someone's buying a pipe. I'm buying it almost every game I can. It's a huge get it. I would rank it honestly above both Arcane Boots and Force Staff. It's that good. Like, pipe, if there's one thing you get from this video, is that pipe's a good item. Now, pipe has a brother, a sibling, that's a lot less attractive than pipe. You know, it's not as good looking. It's called Crimson Guard. Ooh, Crimson Guard. Oh god, Crimson Guard. Okay. To be fair with you, the Crimson Guard build-up is actually pretty solid. Well, the recipe is expensive, but Vanguard is a good item early game. If you can get like health, mana regen, blocking damage is really good. But no support wants Vanguard early. You're not benefiting from it. You know, you kind of want more offensive items or things like that. It's like, yeah, this helps me kind of farm neutrals and live longer in early skirmishes, but it's not what I want. You know, I can get an urn or a drum or a solar crest. Like, there's so many better things I can get that have more utility than a Vanguard. And you're not going to build this on like a Crystal Maiden or an Oracle. So there's very few melee supports who want it. Maybe like, I don't know, Clockwork, for example, or Bounty, or Tusk, or Undying. So most heroes don't want Vanguard. It's good, but it's not good for the support role, even though the build-up is good. Same thing applies to Helm of Iron Will. Health and armor are good. It's fine, but I don't want it for most heroes. So the build-up is not great, and it's an expensive item. We're almost 4,000 gold. These are not cheap items. I mean, pipe is expensive, but we talked about it being at least useful and has a decent, okay build-up at least. Here the build-up is fine, but the items are not items I want, even though they are beneficial items. So we're going to have to go into the active ability Guard. How good is Guard? Guards, okay. A Guard is pretty useful against something like a Bristleback or a Gyro or a Medusa. Heroes who do a lot of spread damage. You can reduce a lot because he's hitting everyone. Even if you're only removing like, 100 damage from each, that's 500 every time that person's attacking, or Quill Spring or whatever. So that's got some value against Gyro, Luna, Medusa, Bristleback, and there's probably a few more. But when I'm a Sven or a CK and I'm jumping in with a 2000 or health crit, reducing that by 100 or 150 is nothing. It's nothing. And that's the problem, is that magic damage is very easy to spread to multiple targets. So many spells are a big circle that hit everyone. And I want to go on another thing, is that Crimson Guard, your value of it, because it's not a shield, it's like a block, I need to use it and take damage throughout the duration for it to be useful. Pipe, if I pop it and it instantly gets removed, that's okay, because it blocked that amount of damage anyway. If 8 seconds it blocks at the beginning or the end, it still blocks the same amount. Crimson Guard, if I'm only taking damage in the last 2 seconds, it's not useful. It's also dispellable, which is something that Pipe isn't. For some god unfathomable reason, this is an actual dispellable. You can see it right there. It says dispellable. Pipe is not dispellable. So I just don't get it. It's just... Crimson Guard is very good in very niche situations. Most of the time it's not worth it, so I put it up there with Pavis. As you can see, I think I may undervalue physical block compared to magic block. Now, next item. Lotus Orb. Okay. It builds from Perseverance, which is good. I love Perseverance. I think Perseverance, you want it. Health, mana regen, excellent. Plate Mail, again, for a lot of heroes, don't need the 10 armor if you're a support, but maybe if you're melee, it's okay. I don't like Energy Booster, but the recipe costs at least. So it's not, the buildup is okay, just Plate Mail is expensive. But the Echo Shell active is insanely good, because you put it on someone, it lasts for a while. Was it 5 seconds? 5 seconds, 15-second cooldown. So it's up 33% of the time. good cast range, 900. It is expensive mana-wise, but again, you apply it, dispels instantly. So if you are silenced, if you are rooted, if you have lots of effects, just get removed straight away. That by itself is really good, just removing these things. The fact that for the next 5 seconds, anyone who hits you, you are reflecting spells back to them is really good. I rate Lotus Orb higher than Linken's in the active ability. Why? Because when I put Linken's on my carry, the enemy team's thinking, well, we could just pop it with a Arc Lightning, with whatever, and then we roar him or doom him. When I put Lotus Shell, no one's thinking, yeah, it's okay, I'll tank the doom or the roar. No one throws spells. Defensively, Echo Shell is an incredibly powerful ability. And it's the fact that it dispels also, lasts for a while, has good uptime. I want to put A tier, an S tier, but I feel like it's an A tier item. It's better than Glimmer Cape defensively. But of course, it's more expensive and the build-up is a little eh. Alright, most 2 expensive items left are Boots of Bearing and Guardian Greaves. Boots of Bearing. Now, Boots of Bearing, it's got some... Okay, it builds up from good items. We like drums, we like Tranquil Boots, but the recipe cost is god expensive. Holy shit. I like Boots of Bearing. I think Boots of Bearing is a good item, but it's so damn expensive to go from these two, which are good, into the actual like item itself. The recipe cost is massive. It's almost half the price just to get the recipe cost. Whereas you can get Tranquils early, you can buy drums late after that, but just the Boots of Bearing recipe is so expensive, and that's really hard to justify. For its price, I can get myself a Pavis and an urn basically just for the recipe. So the build-up is tough, but the actual active is good. 50 attack speed, 50 movement speed, pretty good, and you're unslowable for 1.5. A lot of people buy this to get out of Chrono Cube. Is that still there? I think it is. Upheaval, Invoker's Ice Wall, and that's it, right? That's really, you buy it for these very specific niche situations, so you can get out of these slows, and then you just don't care. The heal, the fact that you don't lose healing is good, but it's just hard to justify buying it because of this very, very expensive recipe cost. I love Boots of Bearing, but it's very rarely worth buying. I rate it definitely higher than Pavis and Crimson, but it's not. But even the Holy Locket, I get more use out of as a support. All right, last item on this list, Guardian Greaves. Now, Guardian Greaves builds from multiple very useful items. And the recipe cost is expensive, but it's not Boots of Bearing expensive. But it builds from good items. Like Buckler is pretty good for, more armor later on is good. Everyone buys Arcane Boots. Mech, we say, is a fantastic item. So it's not like you're losing too much to upgrade into this. You typically buy these and you're like, well, let me get it. So what do you get out of it? It's a better heal than Mech. I think it's from, what's Mech, 250? Mech is 250, yeah. So 250 to 325, so you get a bit of extra heal. You get more mana. It doesn't cost mana to use. Which is one thing I really like about. Sometimes I'm playing a support like, I'm trying to think of a support, but sometimes I'm playing like a support like Doom, who doesn't have a big mana. Yes, he can be a player support. Relax. He doesn't have a big mana pool. And if I'm playing it, but he has a big health pool, so sometimes anti-mages jump on me and burn me, or I get an EMP, I lose all my mana straight away. I can't use anything. I just pop the Guardian Greaves. Costs me nothing, gets me back to nearly like half mana pool, which is very nice. So I really like this. That costs nothing. It applies a basic dispel. We talked about the benefit of Echo of Lotus Orb for allies to remove silences and roots and all these things. You can do that with Guardian Greaves for yourself, which is really nice. You get this aura that is interesting, right? You get this aura that if you're under 25% health, you heal more and you recover more money, have armor. It's a bit too low, getting under 25%, but it's nice when it activates and keeps someone alive. So it's kind of like, okay, this Guardian aura thing. I like it, but I wish to activate it like 35. I feel like then I just get some value out of it, but 25 health is a bit low. Still, it's an upgrade to 2 very good items. It doesn't cost too much, the recipe. Okay, it costs a lot, to be fair with you. But it's not like a huge increase, because you're not buying 4,000 gold, 5,000 gold straight away. You're buying 2 cheap, very useful items to get there. I like it. It's good. And I will put it... Oh, this is hard. I feel like it's not as good as these items, honestly. So I'm going to put it right up at the top of B tier. I think in a lot of games you can get it and you'll be very happy, but there are some times where you're like, it's just a little too expensive to go into, and it's having a hard time getting, finding the place to buy it. But yeah, that's my tier list. I think I'm overall happy with it. We have Pipe, Arcane Boots, Force Staff at the top. I think that's really good. Then we have Lotus Orb, Glimmer, Urn, and Mech. These are fantastic items. You can almost always get them. Then we get a little bit more situational. Guardian Greaves, expensive but super good. Solar Crest, like good for one guy but kind of iffy on everyone else. Spirit Vessel, counter some hero but situational. Drums, when do you buy it? Holy Locket, not enough healing. Then we go kind of items that are either too expensive and don't do enough. And then we have the useless item. Vlads, just don't get Vlads. If you like this video, let me know. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.